No, I agree with that.
Yeah? So we must be loyal, we must pay fidelity to the law. Otherwise, it's going to invite a lot of problems. And I hope that that scenario is not going to play out in Busia. It has played out in my county, where the speaker is impeached, and then the members gang up to find another member to chair the board. And then during that period, there's a lot of looting and bad things that happen. And yet the law requires the vice chair of the board to be the one to take over. So please, we must emphasize that.
Luckily for us, we are politicians. So we can pick up signals of what is happening and what is going on. They might not want to say it because it's very difficult for some of these interested parties to express themselves freely when their bosses are seated there. You will leave Busia tomorrow, Chair, but he has to remain here and to deal with the consequences of the proceedings here. So I think we leave it at that. But
maybe one just in a minute. So Speaker, what you are telling us is that you sat, these deliberations was not done you alone. You sat as the County Assembly Service Board and you decided that the acting clerk should be the current director. Number
Finance,
two, the director of finance. So it was a board decision, number one. Number two, so that you answer both, is I wanted to, is whether this decision after making it, apart from experience, do you have legal department within the county assembly that maybe you consult before making that decision? Maybe if you can clarify those two issues.
The assembly, in fact, in terms of, yes, we had a department, we had a legal officer, but unfortunately the legal officer has left for other greener pastures. So the entire assembly, we only have a contractual legal officer. We don't have legal officers in the assembly.
What about the decision through the chair? Was it a board decision or you as the speaker?
It was the board decision. Yeah.
Okay, now, CPS Samuel Odima, is he in the room?
Yes.
Who's Samuel Odima?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
You're also acting Assistant Director of Finance?
Yes, sir.
Why are you acting Assistant Director of Finance and not substantive?
Actually, I was also appointed by the board to be the acting Assistant Director of Finance.
Speaker, why is such an important position on acting? Because the substantive Director of Finance has gone to be the clerk. You don't have an Assistant Director of Finance, is in acting position. How will you achieve your objectives with that kind of team?
Chair, there's an audit report, the one that we dealt with you at the Senate back there. The recommendation that time from that report and what the House passed that time was to put the officers, two of them, out of office as investigation go on. Apparently, when Erambo, Director of Finance, left and the clerk that time, the entire department, we did not have any person qualified to be an accountant. So the only thing that we could do that time, because we have a ceiling within the assembly, the employees are overemployed. We sourced expertise from the executive. We actually wrote a letter to executive requesting that they second for us officers to the assembly. It applied to him and also to the internal auditor.
So Mr. Odima is seconded from the executive?
From the executive.
It means that in the entire establishment, you have only one CPA?
One.
Only one CPA?
And one, no lawyer, no auditor.
You don't have a lawyer and you are a legislature.
That is the scenario we are in.
You don't have an auditor and you are an oversighting body.
That is the scenario we are in.
You don't have a CPA and yet you're supposed to scrutinize fiscal strategy papers, budgets, and reports of the Auditor General.
Unfortunately, that's the scenario we are in.
So who have you employed? Are you just employing people to play football for the assembly team?
When we joined the assembly, sir, the capping of the assembly given to Busia and I think other assemblies is 100 staff.
Let me ask you, Speaker. We have seen other county assemblies appear before our Budget and Finance Committee to discuss the question of ceilings. Chair, I've seen ceilings being raised, including for my county, Nairobi. Have you come to the Senate to ask or request for that?
Yes, we've done that. Our ceilings have always been raised based on by CARA. When we have a discussion with them, we've never had a problem with that. The problem that I have...
Point of information, the ceilings, oh yes, you're right, CARA.
CARA, we've been dealing with
I
them.
thought you were saying CRA.
No,
but
CARA.
the ceilings, that decision is made at the Senate.
Okay, but we've always received equivalent to either the way the other assemblies get. The problem that we have here, we had an overstaffing. The first, I think, assembly employed 150 people against a ceiling of 100. And that 100 or 150 people, all those people, they lacked requisite skills. That is the scenario we are in. Because, like, for example, I have 11 drivers with 2 vehicles.
Naweza ongezewa maji.
So, yeah, Speaker, it's good to describe the problem.
Yes.
But it is you and your board that must solve the problem.
Yes.
It is not the Senate to solve that problem. 11 drivers, 2 vehicles. That is waste of public resources.
I'm told there's this permanent and pensionable issue. There's we have 2 cases live actually at the court where 2 people, they tried terminating them under permanent and pensionable. The case has been dragging for the last 7 or 8 years. And the way I'm seeing it, we are not even winning that case. So I don't know how to place myself.
Well, how do you even begin to win? You don't even have a legal department.
No, we've been having one until I think 2 months ago.
Okay.
Just one person. And you know, one person serving an entire assembly is also not easy on legal issues.
Chair, maybe, so what is, when you say you have 2 vehicles and 11 drivers, when you tell them to stand, what do they stand against? Number two, Chair, you know, Senator Sifuna had requested I ask you only 2 questions, so this will be my last. Number
6.
I have a 6th question.
No, I think it's not idle talk, because if the governance arrangements are wrong,
Yes.
then everything else is wrong.
Yes.
So my only question is on this aspect of staff establishment. So who are your majority staff? Because you are told by OAG there are 128. So who are these people? Because if you are telling there are 11 drivers against 2 vehicles, let's assume 128 less 11, that's 118 remaining. Who are these 118? Because if you are lacking, if you are lacking the legal person or legal department, which is critical because our business is to legislate just like the MCS, if you are lacking audit, so who are these people? Thank you. I hear.
Chair, as he prepares to answer, I do recall that the Employment Act provides for declaration of redundancies. If somebody was employed to do a certain job and that job ceases to exist, you declare them redundant. I mean, there is a procedure for that. Why are you saying you're going to lose the law, the case? And for me, Chair, there is a broader conversation there, and the judiciary must be told that sometimes the law is about common sense. It is not about just insisting on things because somebody has a letter. It is common sense. Even that judge, surely, who is handling that case, must know that Kenyans cannot be paying for people who do not have any job to do. What would be the rationale? You know, that is an explanation that I don't expect any rational person to make. So why are you saying you will lose the case?
I'm saying that because I think so far there's a ruling that was made against 1 employee, and we again reappealed, not myself. I found the case active. So it was reappealed, and the person still is yet to be totally sent home.
So, Chair, what we can do for the people of Busia, Clerk, Speaker, write to the Senate citing that frustration. In fact, the delay in delivery of or conclusion of those cases, 9 years, we will write to the Chief Justice herself to offer an explanation to people of Busia why a simple employment matter like that can take 9 years in the courts. That's how we can help you. Number 2, the law is there. Which lawyers are these you are using? You can declare redundancies clearly. The judge herself should come and show us how she will allocate those 11 drivers on those 2 vehicles. It's impractical, and it is just common sense. This is why some of us, you know...
And that's why we struggle
to fix this country, but...
And we struggle with the... Okay, I don't want to go to that line. But let's deal with the ones that is in our hands.
Chair, it's obvious the speaker is
Okay,
paying.
Senator Gataya.
It's obvious the speaker is paying ghost workers. Now that you have two drivers against.
Two,
That is a true definition of ghost workers.
they're there.
So when they report, what do they do? When they come?
They sit on the bench outside the assembly. I've been seeing them there. When you give them other assignments, we've actually given some staff different assignments, only for them to go and come back with medical letters and letters from, is it Labour Office? They should be given more lighter duties. So you wonder now which other lighter duties.
That is unacceptable, Chair.
Oh, well, no.
I think for the people of Busia, this is something that the Senate must do to cure.
So, Chair, I think you need to tell us the composition of this 118. And Chair, with your indulgence, I have seen compensation of employees. You need to clarify this. In the period ending June 2023, basic salary of permanent employees was 258,584,870. There was an increment of almost 100 million of 358,291,665 on page 19 of your financial statements. So why was this increment? What were you doing here? Who are you employing? So that, Chair, they can answer with what is this 118? Who are these people? Because we have just been told about the drivers which are left.
From 100 million.
How many more questions?
This is 2023 and this is 2024.
The chair has protected you.
But what I can check that we've never employed anybody. I've never employed anybody.
Speaker, let's talk to the numbers.
Yes.
Maybe, Chair, the simpler one the Speaker can ask was, as they look for the other 100 million, the increment in your power. I'm just asking a simple question. What is the segregation of your staff? You have told us about drivers. You don't have audits. You don't have legal. Who are these people? Just a simple, direct question. Are they in catering? Are they in sports? Where are they? Are they clerks?